All right, hi, I'm Greg Johnson and the creator of ToeJam and Earl. We've just created a new one called Back in the Groove, and we're working with Adult Swim.
So what's it been like here at PAX having people play ToeJam and Earl Back in the Groove?
Wow, it's been great. It's been overwhelming. We've had a line here the whole time, and it's just one person after another who's old school fans who are telling me all about their memories from childhood and what the game means to them. So it's been a blast. Yeah.
So what's it been like working with Adult Swim and developing the fourth game in the franchise?
They couldn't be better. I was a little wary at first because my original intention when we did the Kickstarter for this was to not work with the publisher, but they have been so great. I think it's a perfect match. They've been completely hands-off, letting me do the game I want to do, just complete support, and they're total fans too. They even a number of them backed our Kickstarter, and I love it. I think it's the best possible matchup.
As a game developer since the 80s, what's it been like seeing stuff like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and crowdfunding come into the industry?
Yes, well, as you point out, I have been in the industry for a long time, kind of since it started. I've seen a lot of ups and downs. It's changed a lot, and the whole advent of crowdfunding it's really changed things. Lots and lots of indie development, which means a lot more innovation, a lot more interesting, creative titles. So I love it. It's a great opportunity. I took advantage of it. I've had a lot of friends in the industry who've run Kickstarter or Indiegogo, other campaigns. I think it's great.
Do you think this game would have been a reality without crowdfunding?
Honestly, probably not. Hard to say for sure, but it was because of crowdfunding that I decided to go for it. When the fans were saying, hey, why don't we get another one? And why don't you do a Kickstarter? So I jumped on mostly for them. I'm really glad I did. It's been a great journey. You don't always want to go back to your old things. As a creative person, you kind of want to keep doing new things. But now I'm so happy that I made that choice, because it's just been so many happy people. So many, I didn't guess it was going to be like this.
So why is now the perfect time to bring ToeJam and Earl back into the gaming environment, back into the gaming world?
Well, there seems to be a lot of nostalgia going on now, a lot of retro games. A lot of people, I guess, just have hit that age where they're looking back on the games they played in childhood. I think it is a good time, and like we just talked about, the crowdfunding and sort of various ways you can get funded and the tools. We're building in Unity, so a lot of developers are. There's a lot of good tools out there. We're using a great animation tool called Spine, and we're kind of empowered to do with a very small team. We're a tiny team.
So what are your thoughts on tools like Unreal and Unity and stuff, tools you didn't have 30 years ago?
Yeah, they're great, obviously. It's funny, back then in the 80s and 90s, if you had asked me what I thought development would be like in 2016, I'd be like, oh, we're going to be able to just create a game in 4 or 5 months, and it'll be so easy. We'll just speak at the AI and say what we want or something. And it's still a lot of work. It still takes a year or 2 years to build a game, sometimes more even. But you can do a lot more. You can iterate faster, and that's important, especially with a game like this, where you just gotta try stuff and play it a lot. So, yeah, I'm really grateful and happy about that.
So talk about this new game. What's the story, and what is the goal in this new game as well?
Oh, okay. Well, we went very old school, so quite intentionally. The story is kind of feels very familiar. ToeJam and Earl have swiped the Ratmaster rocket ship from Lamont, the great Funkopotamus, when he's taking a nap, and they take Letitia and Lawanda out for a joyride. and they take them to Earth to kind of show off where they had been. And then when they crank up the bass and are dancing, and ToeJam tells Earl, hit that red button to super amp our bass, and the button says, black hole, do not press. So Earl does it, and black hole appears, the Earth and the ship get sucked in, and like it's a giant washing machine. It gets spit out, and now again they're searching for the pieces of their rocket ship, just like in game 1, and they're like, oh, not again, here we are again. But in this game, unlike the first game, you can play any of 9 playable characters. So there's Letitia, Lawanda, Earl, and ToeJam in their new form and in their old classic form, Flo, who's Earl's mom, Geek Jam, ToeJam's cousin, and Peebo. And you can play up to 4 players simultaneously with couch co-op or online. And so we're really focusing a lot on sort of amping up the multiplayer aspects of the game. There's a lot of other multiplayer features that are exclusive to this game, too.
This game is a really good entry point for somebody who's never played a ToeJam and Earl game, you'd say.
Yeah, that's the idea. What we really wanted to do is give especially old school ToeJam and Earl fans a way to share the experience with new people. So it's kind of ideal since it's cooperative, and we've built in a lot of ways that players can help each other out now. And we're also putting in like an easy mode that you can turn on for individual characters. So if you've got someone who has never played or a little kid in the family that wants to join in, you can do that too. Easy mode gives you gas, though. In the game, you fart a lot. If you're in easy mode, it's the price you got to pay.
When does the game come out, and what platforms will it be on?
Well, it comes out next year. We're not sure exactly when. We still have work we want to do, and Adult Swim's being great about letting us really finish. So, and also it's coming out on a variety of consoles. We haven't nailed down the deals yet. They're not signed, so they don't want us to announce yet. But it's on various consoles. I'm sure that'll get announced sometime soon.
The goal is we want to get it on console. We'll just have to wait and see.
No, I'd say it will definitely be on multiple consoles. It's just a question of which ones, but that part's not a question.